What's going on, you guys? So, D.James earlier had an interview with Fight Hype, salute to Fight Hype, talking about the Terrence Crawford fight. D.James gives his more recent thoughts as to how the fight will be played out, and if the fight is going to happen. Of course, what he thought about Errol Spence Jr.'s performance and things of that nature. Timothy Bradley also had an interview, and he gives his thoughts currently on how that fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford will go. Hit that like button for your boy. Give me that HBO special. That's the Help a Brother Out special. We're on the road to 15,000 subscribers. But D.James, the trainer of Errol Spence Jr., gives his thoughts on Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. Says that version of Errol Spence, he don't see nobody beating him. He says that the big difference between Crawford and Spence, yeah, you may knock people out, Terrence Crawford, but Errol Spence Jr. is breaking guys. Who's actually out here breaking guys that way? He said that Errol Spence Jr. is breaking orbitals, he's breaking ribs, he's breaking noses. He's throwing a lot of punches, and he's throwing heavy punches. He don't see no fighter in boxing that can deal with that, right? But when asked about how does the fight go, how does the fight go between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, he said he can't imagine how it goes. He says Errol Spence Jr. is more vicious, he's more intent than ever before, and that guy that people wish they had saw, that guy that has nothing left, or the guy that's missing something, he's not that guy, right? He's more vicious than ever, he's more determined than ever, and he don't see nobody else beating him. But he wasn't clear on how a fight would go between the two. He said he couldn't imagine. He said he couldn't imagine. When Crawford may knock people out, Errol Spence Jr. is out here breaking people. Then Timothy Bradley had an interview, right? Talking about Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. after the Ugas fight. He says both guys got a lot to give and take. He says he wished it could be a 50-50 fight in negotiations, but, they got to handle that. But he says Crawford in 9 or 10. No, better yet, he's going to give his buddy 11 rounds. He says Terrence Crawford is going to stop Errol Spence Jr. in 11 rounds. Now, that may be controversial to a lot of people, especially based off the Errol Spence Jr. we just saw this past week. But Timothy Bradley is confident in Terrence Bud Crawford. Billy, that's just like his little bro, right? So Timothy Bradley, but when you ask these guys that's affiliated with these guys, have a good relationship with these guys, of course they're going to say their guy's going to win, okay? That's just how it goes. Sure, D.James believes that Errol Spence is going to beat Bud Crawford. Sure, Timothy Bradley believes Terrence Bud Crawford going to beat Errol Spence. Absolutely. They're supposed to say that, right? Especially guys like Timothy Bradley. He's a little bit more outspoken. He's a little bit more vocal. He's going to tell you how you feel. He don't really care how you like it. D.James, he's going to be a little bit more politically correct, right? But all in all, D.James, when asked about the fight being made, he was somewhat on the fence about it. He gave us a long, stretched out response. But then ultimately he said if Errol Spence wants it, it's going to happen. So, yeah, we're going to sit back and wait and see what happens. But, yeah, I know a lot of fans going to be up in arms about Terrence Crawford stopping Errol Spence 11 rounds. Listen, people, this is what Terrence Crawford does. He stops guys. He stops guys that never been stopped. He gives guys O's. He beats guys that don't know how to lose. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want about his resume and his opponents, right? He beat a lot of undefeated guys. So, yeah, and he stopped these guys. Guys that don't know how to get stopped. So, yeah, that's an art within itself. Will Errol Spence be able to break Terrence Crawford like he did Udinese Ugas? Terrence Crawford's not going to stand there for it to happen. But, yeah, that's the video, you guys. D.James gives his thoughts. He says that Errol Spence Jr. is a better version of himself. He's more vicious. He's more intent, and he don't see anybody in the world stopping him. Timothy Bradley says that Terrence Crawford stops Errol Spence Jr. in the 11th round. Tell me what you guys think. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.